slice, glue, paint, enjoy.
Hello, and this is week 3 of the Tale of Two Painters on the Tyranids section of the videos. I feel like I've done pretty well this week. I've got everything left in the army base coated, highlighted up, washed and re-highlighted. I've even started our model. I got a little bit distracted during the week painting terrain. Me and Craig are trying to get more battles done so we can do some more battle reports. So I've ended up doing a load of terrain, and I've also sorted out some lighting this week, so that distracted me a wee bit, just playing with things. But I'll show you I'll add the terrain to this video because I class it as part of my hobby this week, and it has taken a few hours of my life away. But the Tyranids, everything is now base coated. Everything. It doesn't look battlefield ready at all. I wouldn't feel comfortable using it as is and saying, oh, it's fine to use. In theory, you could get away with it at a tournament because it has got 3 different layers on it, but I'm not going to go there yet. I'm really happy with how it looks. The Hive Tyrant I showed you last week, it doesn't look the same anymore. Actually, I'll show you here. He's a lot greener. I end up undercoating him with burnt umber, I think it is. I've not got the paint there, so I won't know which one it is. One of the Vallejo undercoat layer brushes, it's a dark brown. I'm sure it's dark umber. I really liked what that did with the toning up from the green then. I actually really wish I'd done my Termagants that way first. Started with that brown and then worked my way up to the green and changed it that way. But I'm not going to go changing now because it's already hit the 60... Well, it's already hit the 84 point model and I can't go through stripping and repaint them again. I'm fairly sure my friends will kill me. Plus I might lose to Craig and we don't want that. So yeah, this week it's Hive Tyrant, 2 Tervigon. No. Shit, what are they called? Tervigon. I'm sure it's Tervigon. Yeah, we'll go with that. 2 Zoanthropes, 2 Venomthropes, and Hive Tyrant have been base coated, highlighted up, and they're quite good. I quite like how they look as is. I've also got about 11 pieces of building terrain done. I think it's 11. We'll see in a minute when I bring it in. But yeah, I'll show you the models first, and plus my cup of tea, and then I'll show you the buildings as well. Okay, on to the Tyranids bit of the update. So this is everything that's been base coated, highlighted. I need to go a bit slower so it's not going woof. Yeah, so base coated, highlighted, washed, and then re-highlighted up. Really impressed with it actually. I see on the top you can see the brown that I did first and then worked up to the green. I'll show you on the Hive Tyrant probably better. I missed a bit on the tail of the highlight and I'm really annoyed at myself, but for the most part I think it's worked quite well. I need to add the flesh tones in on the wings and get the armour done on the carapace, but I think the actual green effect on the model looks really nice. So the next week's job hopefully is possibly to do basically these 2 and him. I'll see. It will hopefully work out as that. I'm quite looking forward to painting this actually. I keep looking at images online of what to do with him, and I'm not sure if I should add bits more of flesh in with him or keep him as the green and then just do the wings in the flesh tone and little bits around him like a grubs at the front of the guns and stuff, or if I should do like more like this brainy bit here, if it'll focus, just there in the brighter like fleshy tones, or if I should leave it as the green. But yeah, I'm going to add the darker brown to the back of the carapace and then highlight up. So everything here has been done so far. I'm trying to figure out the best way camera focus of doing the sack on the Tervigon. I'm debating leaving the green underneath and then just dry brushing flesh tone, Caden flesh tone onto it, and then dry brushing it with pallid flesh probably, just so that the green shows through from the flesh as if it's like a bit that's expanded and blood up, if you will. Sounds lovely, and I can hear my wife in the background going ugh. Or she wasn't listening to me, one of the two.
Not listening.
Right, there we go. Yes, I've got to decide what to do with it. I've kind of experimented a little bit with the brain on top of the Venomthrope. You can kind of see a little bit of the green showing through. So I basically did that in the Cadian flesh tone, highlighted it with pallid flesh, and then I've washed it with the Reichland flesh. No, was it Reichland flesh? Oh no, it's Seraphim Sepia, sorry. So you can still see a little bit of the green through, which I think I quite like, but it doesn't show too much, if I can get lighting correct. But yeah, I think it looks quite good. So yeah, that's my plan for these two. Highlight them up with the thing. And then I'm not sure what to do with the actual blades. I'm not sure if I should do the bone colour or possibly a purple. I don't know why purple's ringing true in my head, but I'm thinking purple maybe. Comment and say what you think I should do with it. So Zoanthropes have got just the basic highlight, and then the Venomthrope has had the flesh tones done on the wibbly bits. I've really annoyed at myself because I've left a little bit of stem, that's not the word, sprue on here, and I need to chop it off. So I'll do that probably tonight. I couldn't find my clippers earlier before the video. And then the Carnifex is the same as the Tervigons, just stock level. I'm getting better with my airbrush, I think. I quite like the highlight tones on him. I think it's blended quite well. Further in you can see little bits of brown showing through, and I don't know, I think I'm quite impressed with it. So, not as much done this week as I wanted. Nowhere near as much as I wanted. I wanted at least these two finished this week, but I got distracted, as I say. So yeah, next week's plan is these two completed and possibly the Hive Tyrant as well. If failing that, I might do the two Venomthropes and the Carnifex maybe. I definitely want 3 models done by next week anyway, and possibly a little bit of a start on some more of the Termagants. And I will end it here because I'm going to swap over to the other models I've been painting this week and give you a look at them. Right, for update 2 on this week's hobby, I apologise for it's gone really dark suddenly. I have no idea why. The lights are on exactly the same as they were about 30 seconds ago between swapping over. I've basically been painting an awful lot of terrain this week. I've had it in my garage for absolutely ages and I've just avoided doing it. Anyone who follows me on Instagram, I've been spamming an awful lot of this because I'm quite happy with it. So there's basically these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pieces in here, and there's another 6 in the garage which I couldn't fit on the table. So I just thought I'd show you these ones for now. So there's 2 parts of the Land Raider, which is an old Land Raider that I've got from, back in the Trafford Centre store days. Rhino, which I got cheap off eBay, chopped in half and basically made 2 pieces of terrain from it. And then another, 2 of those, and then another 3 or 4 pieces of building terrain. This is the biggest one. Really happy with how they've all turned out, really. They're all mounted on MDF. Really troublesome to get mounted to the MDF board because it was such a heavy board and they're quite heavy models. I actually ended up using industrial grade builder's glue, some sticky pink or some daft name like that. But now you can literally pick them up and wave them and they're not shifting at all, which I'm really quite glad about because I'm awful at actually looking after these things. So yeah, this is probably the best one to show you the painting on them. I got really bored on, I think, Saturday afternoon, Saturday probably, and was spraying them a really dark royal blue that Laura had in the garage from her flowers. As many of you have guessed, you can see from the other side of the table that my wife is a florist. Those are all artificial flowers, not real ones, don't worry. So I basically got pretty much all the spray cans in the garage and just started spraying random colours on. So it was dark blue first, then a grey, then a silver, then a black, then a bit more silver, then a bit more blue. Then I think they got about easily 10 layers on each, but it was quite light and quite misty. But yeah, and then everything got a really watered down wash of Gorfang brown. Can't remember the correct name for it, but it's quite a creamy brown colour. And if I just zoom in, you should be able to see it's kind of left like a really nice dusty sort of look. Really impressed with how it's turned out. But yeah, I think it looks quite good. All of them have sort of come out to this sort of colour. Oh, that's really dark and I have no idea why, because it's actually quite bright in this room. Luckily, I have just purchased 2 softbox lighting system thingy-majiggy-mabobs off another YouTuber's advice. Thanks very much, Winters. And so that should bring up the power of the sun in this room, and I might use these next time I'm filming anything. But yeah, so everything's pretty much painted. I'm in two minds if I want to repaint the Land Raider or not, or just kind of, I don't know. I think it looks alright at the minute, with the green underneath it, but the Rhino looks absolutely awful because it was just a cheap one off eBay that I just wanted to chop up. Yeah, that camouflage pattern doesn't quite work, I think. So I might do them as, like, I don't know, possibly an ultramarine pattern just to upset a few people. I don't know, it might even be Space Wolves, but we'll see. Yeah, so then the basing from all was done with B&M Bargains Value Fence paint. So it's a really nice dark brown colour. And I've just highlighted up with a dry brushing of a dark brown. I was meant to get some flock delivered today, but the express delivery has not worked, and I'm really annoyed about it, because I really wanted these to be nice and grassy and fit in with my board, but they're not going to be until the next video, and I probably won't do an update on these until we actually play a game at my house. But yeah, I'm really happy with how these have turned out. I think, as with the Tyranids, they will get a little bit more love one day, but for now, they look alright. They don't have to be perfect. They stand out a bit more than the usual, like, dry brushed grey, well, sprayed black, dry brushed grey, and then have a bit of a wash over them. And I quite like how they look. It's a shame they're all the same sort of look, but for the damn Imperials, I think everyone would look the same. But yeah, pretty good. Yeah, flock these when the flock finally turns up, and then on to other things. Probably back to the Tyranids, hopefully, which I really should do since it's the Tale of Two Painters challenge. Thanks very much for watching this week, guys. Remember, like and subscribe to the videos. I sound really camp then for some reason. Please don't comment on this video, Ben. Thanks very much, guys. I'll talk to you next week. Bye!